Production presents Gypsy Soul, your one-stop shop for letting out your inner gypsy. Join Denise Marsh as she brings on a variety of guests to share their artistic vision with the world.
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of Gypsy Soul. I'm your host Denise Marsh and I'm so happy to be with you guys. So how is everyone doing this Thursday? You're enjoying your week? It's flying by for me. I'm on spring break and it feels like it just started and it is over. But I'm doing well, plenty of time for reflection and unfortunately cleaning. And while I've had time for reflection, I've also had time to embrace my inner gypsy. And, thinking about the great opportunities I've been blessed with, the great opportunities that people have presented me with, and having connections with others. And one of the main reasons I have this show is because of connections with other people, like Krista Martinelli of AroundWellington.com, who got me on the Brooklyn Cafe show, which is a prelude to what we're going to be talking about today. And then I was offered the show, to put together this show, the opportunity to do a live podcast. And it just went up from there. Just really, really blessed to have all these connections. So I like to use the analogy of a path, sort of like Robert Frost, but a little bit different. And I'd like to share a poem with you entitled Lines in My Path. I've never released this poem into a book, but one day I'll find a place and I'll do it when it's ready. So here we go. Lines in my path. There are lines in my path, straight and narrow, curved and widened, broken and blurred, each one telling its own tale. There are lines in my path. I walk slowly, cautiously, pausing at each one, in reflection and circumstance. There are lines in my path that even the rain cannot erase with its gentle tears. The lines of my life, lessons that beget another line. I hope you guys like that. It has not been released in a book yet. But speaking of lines in my path, I have two lines that I'm very proud of and that have brought much happiness and excitement into my life. And they're two of the guests that will be here today. They are hosts of the Brooklyn Cafe show, Dawn Grobert and Freddie Santori. And they have just blessed my life in so many ways, I can't even. There's just too much. But they have something very exciting to share with you and talk about today. They'll be telling you about their amazing foundation that benefits the incredible producers, all of the shows at AM2 Media, and without them, our shows would not run smoothly. So we're going to be going to a short commercial break, and then you'll get to meet Dawn and Freddie when we come back. So I can't wait to see.
Are you tired of long lines and fitting a car detail into your busy schedule? Magical Touch Mobile Detailing will come to your home or office. Small cars, big cars, and even trucks, no job is too big. We specialize in ceramic coating, removing tough stains and dog hair, and will travel as far as Boca and Jupiter. Visit us at www.magicaltouchmobiledetailing.com or call for a free estimate at 561-255-8968 and ask for Romaine.
Hey there, have you heard of the new show Gypsy Soul? It's hosted by the one and only Denise Marsh. Listen in as she helps you release your inner gypsy with the best in South Florida, with plenty of special guests, with their own talents to inspire your inner gypsy. Tune in every other Thursday on your preferred streaming platform.
And welcome back to Gypsy Soul. I'm your host, Denise Marsh, and we have Dawn and Freddie in the house on my show, in the flesh.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome.
What a treat.
This is going full circle. I've been on your show, and now you finally get to be on mine. So I'll address you both separately or together. You could speak at the same time over each other.
I'm exhausted, don't worry about it.
You guys are pros. You're so used to this. So you guys put together a very special foundation for the amazing crew of producers. So what prompted you to create this foundation, and what does it entail?
Ant Media Futures Foundation is totally for our interns. We call them producers, but with the downturn in the economy and the expense of living for our crew, the lack of software, the lack of accessibility to hardware and cameras to sustain the craft and the skills they want, we thought, we've done this for 10 years. We thought we had to make it official because the only way to receive monies in to help them was to put a title on it and a label on it. So last year, by the grace of an amazing group of people that came forward to help us, and God, we were able to form our non-for-profit in about 6 weeks, which is pretty much unheard of. Everyone said 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and we submitted it in May, and we got the official letter March 20th. So we're actually officially a year now since we have official 501c3.
You're ahead of your timeline.
You know, I didn't have a timeline. We just put it out there, and Freddie said, "Oh, don't do this. It's going to be a lot of work. It's more work. It's more work."
I said, don't do it.
He did. He said, "Don't do it," and I didn't
Aren't
do
you
it.
glad that you?
Well, for a year we didn't do it because I started thinking about 2 years ago, and everyone, our executive producer, the accountant didn't know how to do it. It's really specialized as far as accounting and what you need to do, and no one in our team for a for-profit company knew how to help us. So we kicked it to the curb for a year, and then a year later, you know that gnawing feeling in your gut that you just want to do it, like Gypsy Soul?
Yes,
I guess
yes.
it's like my inner gypsy. It was this gnawing feeling that I said, if I don't do it now, we're never going to try. And if I don't try, we're never going to know.
It was the right time.
And apparently it was the right time, and it all just fell into place. It's a ton of work. There's no doubt about it. I can't sugarcoat it, but it's worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it to see how far they grow. Actually, one of the interns, producers, just came back, and he's applying for an internship this summer at ESPN, and he has his second call back. So when you see them grow
beautiful.
and really get a chance to express what they want to do and how they collaborate with each other, that's the best part of this. Sometimes they're a little too loud, but they're collaborating
them.
and they're honing their craft, and it's teamwork is what it's all about. COVID stopped their ability to communicate with each other, and I think we give them a safe place to come back and be who they are.
You know, the biggest challenge to doing this is you want to keep challenging them. You can only explain how a camera works but so many times.
And they learn so quickly. I see
They do,
that.
but you got to experience a little bit of what happened here before we went on the air.
Yes.
And you're proof.
Right up to the line.
Yeah. And you see that they're trying to work, because we have a double shoot tomorrow. In all the years that I've done this, in the plus 20 years that I've done this, I've never done a double shoot where we're able to talk to one another at the same time from two different locations. And to me, it's a big, big deal because it opens up the availability of doing certain things in the future. So they have attacked it, and foundation won't work if you don't have some of the minds that we've had in here.
And they're
Because you-
hungry to learn.
They're hungry.
They're passionate. They're
and
hungry
they want
to
to
learn.
prove to the world that they can. Because everywhere they go, they say that we can't hire you because you don't have enough experience.
They can't say that here.
And they can't. And in here, it's not only about experience, it's about actually doing it and making it work. So I'm hoping that they got a big convention to go to down, where is it? In
Miramar.
In Miramar. It's going to be over 120 companies down there. It's huge. It's
Huge.
big. And then Dawn and I are going up to do a remote at a cafe, which I got some news also that I just heard.
A Colombian cafe, right?
Yeah.
The coffee house.
Yeah. I wish I could go to that tomorrow.
And Janet just called me to say that they want to do their own show from the cafe. So that's something that has to be negotiated tomorrow. She's over there right now talking
But
to them.
you know what I love about the crew here, and they played this song last time, the final countdown, like for a joke, because they're getting ready, and they were getting ready for my show. Is even when I get nervous that we're cutting into the wire, they still handle it beautifully. They just they're thrown into the fire and they go with it.
They
I've
love
never
what they're
met
doing.
people that work under pressure so well as the crew here, especially you guys as well.
Well, that's what this business is about. You can't give in. You can't give in to the pressures. And until the clock rings 0, you have time. You just want to get it done earlier. But sometimes there are technical issues. We've had to compensate for a lot of challenges on the internet, in the air, on Comcast, everything.
Yeah.
If you look around this studio, it's built for things not to work. So I don't worry about it at all.
But you guys keep me calm that way, because when I said, Dawn, it's time for the show soon, she said, oh, you still have time, you're good.
See, I knew in my mind, I know you, and I
like I
know
like
our
to be
crew,
early.
and I know production. They had you set. I knew you needed that 10 minutes
Yeah.
to calm your nerves.
Yeah.
So I knew we had another 10, 12 minutes of grace time. For you, that sounds like a short period of time. For us, it's an eternity to figure out those 10 minutes. They
And
can
you could get
figure it
10
out.
things done in those 10 minutes.
They can get 10 things done. I can apply for 2 more grants. I mean, when
It's
it comes
amazing
down
watching. It's amazing.
to what
It
it
inspires
takes.
me, actually, and it makes me like think about how long it takes me to do things or how little time I have to do things.
You
It's
know,
great to watch it.
Every minute is important. And the other part of the foundation is I come from a background of special education.
I remember.
You know, with the
yeah.
theory of they will rise to the occasion. So when you put someone who's a little neurodivergent or non-neurotypical on the autism spectrum with a group of young minds that are just excelling in everything, they will rise to the occasion. And we get to see
And they have.
the growth. We have students in here that are on vocational rehab. We have companies that are calling us now because they've heard about us. Could they place some of their students here? So some of them are getting government funding to be here. Some of them take Palm Tran to get here. And they learn. Is it a little more challenging? No more challenging than anyone who's neurotypical, as they say. Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses, as you and I do. You handle the tech, I handle the paperwork. Everyone's got their strengths. So it's a great family.
People learn from each other, people of different abilities or, also some people with shortcomings or, like you said, neurodivergent. I can't speak today. They learn from each other, and we learn to respect people's differences, and I love that. I see people working in harmony.
And I don't even think they've got shortcomings. I think some of the students that we have that are on the autism spectrum work harder because they know they have to work that much harder, or they've had that many more challenges in their mind
Or they give
and
to the-
bullying that they feel like they have to push that much harder to be emotionally accepted.
They can also offer things that other people don't have as well.
True.
Because they overcompensate, I think. I've seen that in education before. So how do people donate? If they want to donate, if they want to get involved, what do they do?
Oh, it's really simple. You can go to givebutter.org and make a donation. You can go to AMP Media Futures Foundation, ampfutures.org, and make a donation. ampfutures.org. We just actually set up our spring fundraiser. It's Segundo de Mayo. Spring fundraiser. So
May
it's
2nd.
May 2nd with a bit of a twist for Cinco de Mayo, but it's a Friday night, which things are a little bit more quiet here, and we can roll into the weekend and get the studio back together by Monday morning. So that's out there.
Who's invited to that? Is it open to
It
the
is
public?
open to the public.
Just like the first one.
Yeah, I love the first
It is
one.
open to the public. No fee to attend,
No
but we
fees.
hope that you, instead of in lieu of a fee, you will make a sizable donation to support the crew because it's harder and harder to access federal funding. Even before it was hard to access federal funding because different levels of income. But we keep going. You have to try. Every little bit counts.
And what are your plans for the future for the foundation?
Well, that's interesting because I didn't, when she did the first one, I asked her not to do it because I was scared to death that nobody was going to come. So when we were setting up that day, the event started at 6,
Yeah.
and by 5 o'clock there was over 100 people in this building.
I remember that.
And I was sitting in the lobby, and I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was in trouble on 100 different ways. I knew I was in trouble with parking. I knew I was in trouble with people. So we kept the front door open because they had
remember.
asked me to open this thing. And to open this thing, you don't want to go that way.
They were having a party outside, too.
So the party went out to the outside, and the cars on the outside. And there was over 200 people in here by the end of the night. And the amazing thing is, we didn't, because it's the first one we've done, we didn't know right, wrong, or indifferent. So sometimes not knowing is the secret. So we're hoping to strike lightning again twice. They took monies and they redid Studio B in their name and their fingerprint. They were painting. They did everything in there.
And you had the
blueprints.
beautiful baskets, you had the donation baskets, and those were a
Everything.
huge hit. And I think you had people singing. I remember people there were singers there.
So I'm
It
hoping
was
had
like
the
a
band.
big show.
Right, we're hoping to get some other singers to come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, they're all in. I got a lot of people that want to come and sing. We actually built a new stage. We got a stage 2, so you're gonna have people singing there and there. And I don't know what's next because I didn't know that this was going to happen. One of the things when I started this journey 20 years ago, I had no idea that streaming would take off So here it is, and now you have all these lives that are coming forward. It changed. The game has changed, but it's changed in front of me. So when people tell me, what are you going to do next? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Wait and see, right? Watch and see.
But my goodness gracious, we've done movie theaters. We've done big productions. We're actually signed up to do a sizzle for a movie, maybe two. What's next? What isn't next?
I love that.
What isn't next?
We've got a 5K walk on Saturday at Tradewinds Park. That's
Early in the morning.
Support
I heard
heart to
about that.
heart
Quarter
outreach.
to 7 in the morning.
Yeah, but it's cooler then. They've got vendors. It's going to be a great opportunity. They've been incredible to work with. They support the elderly with Meals on Wheels, so they've hired the foundation and Amp Media Productions to do the photography and videography work. Now we're reaching into the realm of marketing, so we're doing another event on Sunday at Trilogy Gym, and that's up on Gateway and Federal Highway, and that's a wellness festival. Again, with some great vendors, booty bar, yoga with puppies, self-defense,
Everything.
a car show, bounce
Busy
house for the
weekend.
kids. It's a busy weekend, but come summer, everyone in business is complaining. That's the business side, that things are quiet and there's no business. So while we have this window of opportunity, you have to say yes, and you have to keep going and keep pushing and doing 2 shoots in a day, because come June, when we're switching over crews and we're training them again, we got to gear back up for what happens.
Yeah.
So it's a constant evolution of students, perpetual motion.
And you said yes at the right time. I remember saying yes at the right time.
You
too.
did.
So
I mean, you too, right? We gave you an opportunity. We presented you with an opportunity, I should say, and you said yes, and you jumped in to take it.
I did, just like you guys jumped in. I learned from the best, and still going strong. So, but I want to have time later on to actually interview one of the amazing producers here and hear her experience and her take on the foundation. I wanted to thank both of you so much for being on my show. I love you guys. You've given me so many opportunities. But we're going to go to a short commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to hear someone's story.
Are you tired of long lines and fitting a car detail into your busy schedule? Magical Touch Mobile Detailing will come to your home or office. Small cars, big cars, and even trucks, no job is too big. We specialize in ceramic coating, removing tough stains and dog hair, and will travel as far as Boca and Jupiter. Visit us at www.magicaltouchmobiledetailing.com or call for a free estimate at 561-255-8968 and ask for Romaine.
Hey there, have you heard of the new show Gypsy Soul? It's hosted by the one and only Denise Marsh. Listen in as she helps you release your inner gypsy with the best in South Florida, with plenty of special guests, with their own talents to inspire your inner gypsy. Tune in every other Thursday on your preferred streaming platform.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for staying tuned to Gypsy Soul. I'm your host, Denise Marsh, and I have the very lovely and very innovative Brianna Costa here with us, one of the newer producers, correct?
Actually, yeah, it's weird to not be the newest one here anymore, but it feels like just yesterday when I started. I've been here since November. So now
you're not that new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're really not that new.
I've lived in Florida since the end of September, and I've been here since November. So this is pretty much the first place I came when I moved here.
And we're so happy that you came here.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, you're such a great part of the studio, and you always have a great spirit to you, and you always encourage other people. And she's helping me too,
Of course.
with the show, which I love. So just tell us exactly what you do at the studio. What's your role here?
So I actually have a kind of unique role here. I do a lot of networking. I do a lot of business development. I'm just trying to get the word about what we do at the studio out there and find people who want to have their voice amplified.
And you do a lot of the social media, right? Like the social
Yes, that
media
as well.
handles.
For a couple, but we do have a really good marketing team. So there are some others who
You're
are really
included though with that.
That's true.
I think. So how has the foundation personally affected you or people that you're close to?
To me, well, I can only really speak for myself. Like I said, it was the first place I came when I moved to Florida. And honestly, moving to Florida has been really, really hard for me. It's the first time in my life I ever went somewhere where I don't know anyone. And it's still an adjustment, but it's really nice to have a place like here that makes me feel like I'm starting to get a community. And I cherish that feeling a lot. I'm really grateful.
And you made fast friends, right? Like I see you friendly with everyone here. And
Yeah, everyone here is really open. We're really welcoming. So
where are you from originally?
I'm from Jersey.
Okay, and I'm from Brooklyn, right? Very different here. But there's so many transients here, right? There's so many people from
That's
Brooklyn, New
true.
Jersey. Yeah. So, what do you think about the food here?
I mean, there are some places better than others.
Well, all the pizza places are run by like Brooklyn people, so
Exactly,
it's
that's
gonna be
why.
good. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that you're part of the studio and the show and part of all the great shows that we do here. And I'm glad that the foundation is helping you as well, that it's benefiting you.
Thank you.
And I look forward to working with you more in the future.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Too. She's amazing. So thank you so
You
much
are
for
too.
coming on my show. And so I wanted to say thank you, everyone, for being such a big part of my show. I've actually gained, I think it's 23 or 24 new followers since the last show, which is super exciting. Every day I looked, because I always look, I kept seeing it go up and up and up. So I don't know who you're telling, but thank you so much. I just wanted to say that. And I wanted to also talk about a couple of things. And one of them is that I wanted to invite you to an event that I'm actually going to be a part of on Saturday. I know Dawn and Freddie told you about some events. Maybe you could send some people to one event, and then other people can go to the other one. There's going to be an event called the Spring Book Bash, and it's being led by Sheila Fowler, who is an amazing, she writes cozy mystery. She's been a guest on the show and also romance. TK Lawyer is going to be on at the book event. Also, Heidi Hess is going to be at the book event, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a meet and greet. They're going to have a raffle, and we're all going to have our books there. And if you're interested in participating in that, you would go to, and I'm just getting my info here, so give me a second here. You would email Sheila Fowler at Rockefellers, not Rockefeller, Rockefellers, F-O-W-L-E-R-S at Comcast.net, and you would tell her that you're interested so that you could come to the event on Saturday. It's actually 11 to 2, and it's at her clubhouse in Mar-a-Lago, Cay. It's a beautiful clubhouse. It's in Lantana, Florida. Again, there's a lot going on. Dawn and Freddie told you about the events going on. I'm telling you, so you can't say you have nothing to do this weekend because there's so much to do. But I just appreciate every single one of you. And the expression, it takes a village. It's true, it does. It takes a village here with the producers. I see them working so hard, even to the minute before my show. They're planning out tomorrow what they're going to do, how they're going to act, what they're going to bring, how the camera production is going to go. And they really never stop working. I don't think they sleep. I think they just work and work and work. And then they dream about it even more. But I'm proud to be part of the scene here, literally, and the situation. And I couldn't have asked to work with a better group of people. I'm very proud of the producers. I'm very grateful for them, not just for my show, but helping other people with their shows as well. And it's just an exciting life, to see what they do and learn a new trade. And I feel like I'm learning along with them. Even though I don't do the same things they do, if you could see all the stuff that happens before the shows are put together, it is just amazing and incredible. It's just, the behind the scenes is just, you wouldn't believe that the shows just come out so wonderful with all the little nuances and the things that have to happen to actually bring you the show for 30 minutes or bring you the show for an hour. So remember that every time you watch the show, that there's so many other things going on in the background prior to the show, during the week of the show, even to the minute before the show starts. Remember that and appreciate that, because all of these people here, the producers, have brought out my Gypsy Soul even more, and they've taught me to experience greater things, to take risks. Even when I'm, nervous about starting my show, they always bring up my confidence. And I feel blessed and I feel lucky to be part of Gypsy Soul and to be part of this amazing group of producers, and so happy that they have this foundation that's going to help people that want to get into the business that maybe it's hard for them or they're financially challenged, because I think everyone deserves a chance. So I'm happy to be part of it. I hope you guys will go to that fundraiser on May 2nd. The last fundraiser was phenomenal. I don't know if I could say it on air, but there was an open bar.
No.
But it was just incredible. And I don't know how they fit so many people in here, but they did. So keep your gypsy soul going. I'm bringing you lots of love and light. Have a lovely weekend. Don't forget to love yourself, because you can't love anyone else before you love yourself. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. I believe it is on April 10th for my next show. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and to share the love. Share Gypsy Soul. I'm looking to get myself to 300 followers, maybe even 400. Hey, let's bring it up to 500. We can do this. Let's do it. So I love you guys. Thank you for being such a big part of my Gypsy Soul. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to Gypsy Soul. Make sure to stop by next time for another enlightening show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by Denise Marsh.